We have to do this. We have to go through the motions. Symbolically, it means something. It's a taint on his presidency, more than a taint. It's a stain, one that he deeply deserves. So, yes, we will go through it and take our chances. We have to take our chances, no matter what. He's going to try and use it, that he got ahead of it, he beat it like a gangster. I beat the rap, I beat them like the Teflon Don, but he has to take that punishment. He has to pay the consequences. The guy is a total monster. And anybody, I don't understand it. I guess they get behind that kind of logic. They want to fuck with people, screw them, because they're unhappy about something. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person. I never play him as an actor. I just want to make a note of apology for the idiotic behavior of my president. It's a disgrace, and I apologize to Justin Trudeau and the other people at the G7. It's disgusting.
All right, you are not going to believe this. Robert De Niro destroys Trump and Trump goes nuts. And tonight we are rolling the clip, the timestamps, the late night posts, and the little hallway moments most people scrolled past. You probably caught the headline and the punchline. Cool. But do you know what happened after the cameras moved? Who scrambled behind the scenes? And why the meltdown looked like a rerun with the volume cranked? That is what this video is about. I am walking you through De Niro's exact line, Trump's reaction in real time, the follow-up spin, and the pattern that keeps repeating. If you want the receipts with the roast, tap subscribe right now and drop a comment with your verdict. Was it a standard clapback or a classic Trump meltdown?
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
So let's set the scene, because this is not random. De Niro has been consistent for years. Award stages, interviews, red carpets, courthouse sidewalks. He does not hedge when the topic is character and honesty in public life. He does what great actors do. He builds a moment. Short setup, clean line, 2-beat pause so the room can catch up, then a moral tag that lands like a closing argument. It is not screaming. It is precision. And every time he does it, Trump reacts the same way.
We have, I think this might have been the first time he wrote about you. Robert De Niro, a very low IQ individual, has received he spelled two wrong, many shots to the head by real boxers in movies. I watched him last night, truly believe he may be punch drunk, and then he says, at the end, he says, "Wake up, punchy," he says to you. And that's not the only time, and he moved over to Truth Social. Robert De Niro, whose acting talents have greatly diminished with his reputation now shot, must even use a teleprompter for his foul and disgusting language. So disrespectful to our country. Now, in all fairness to the former president, is that true? Do you have to use a teleprompter when speaking about President Trump? Or are you able to just kind of riff on your thoughts on him?
Yeah, he's so stupid.
He fires off the all caps, adds a nickname, claims nobody cares, then spends the evening proving that everybody did. We have seen this loop so many times you could storyboard it. Here is how it played out. De Niro drops the line. You can actually hear the delayed laugh roll across the room, the oh wow kind of laugh. Not the cheap shot chuckle. He gives it a small nod like, yes, that is the point. Within minutes, the clip is up everywhere with captions burned in. The quote is sitting at the bottom of the screen, in a font no one can miss. Now watch the clock. The first response hits late. The kind of late where you know a phone lit up and a group chat went into triage. It starts with the usual greatest hits, fake news, washed up actor, total failure, the stuff that reads like a fridge magnet of comebacks.
It's about right and wrong, period. The guy's a monster. It's beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it and doing it, and it's scary.
Then it escalates. Post 2 repeats the attack and accidentally repeats the quote. Post 3 says no one watched it while linking to it. If you want a single image that explains this era, it is a man yelling that no one cares while pointing everyone to the thing he swears no one cares about. Imagine that phone as the clip takes off. Notifications pinging like a slot machine. An aide saying we can ignore it. Another arguing we should hit back twice. An intern whispering, "Sir, caps lock is still on. All right, back to receipts." What actually happened is simple. The posts landed, the nickname did not stick, and the follow-up tried to wave it away while typing an entire paragraph about why it was nothing. When you give a full paragraph to nothing, it is not nothing. You may have heard the viral line, "Here is what most folks missed. After the room laughed, you can pick up a little murmur off mic, a kind of that track sound."
I just don't know. It's all an act in a certain way. It's all out of insecurity. He's deeply, deeply insecure. He is a malignant narcissist. He's a socio-psychopath. He's created some new language as far as describing somebody in his mental condition. It's so frightening and scary, and he's dangerous. We got to get rid of him.
Do you ever?
And shame on those Republicans that don't have the nerve, the balls to go after him. What do they tell their kids? What do they tell their grandkids later when it's written in history books what their role is and what they did, and they allowed him to do this? He's an outright criminal, and they're still buying it.
That tells you it was not just performative applause, it was agreement, and the timing matters. The reaction came in the window that always draws a fundraising email. If you know the cycle, you know the language. The subject lines that turn a celebrity roast into an emergency. I will keep it general here and stick to the pattern. The outrage gets monetized. Then the press team floats a claim that the event was biased, that the stage was rigged, that it was all a coordinated hit. PR loves that storyline. The record shows De Niro has been saying the same thing for years in different rooms to different crowds. That is not an ambush. That is a reputation. Let's do a fast timeline Tetris so you can see the chain reaction. Clip at night. First post in all caps follows. Second post insists no one cares while quoting the line. A surrogate pops onto friendly media to say, Hollywood elites are mean. Opposition pulls all three and cuts a montage that doubles the reach by morning.
Speech, it ain't free no more.
What? It's not free no more?
Yeah, we're charging by the word now.
You're charging by the word? How much are you charging?
Depends on what you want to say. Like, you want to say something nice about the president's beautiful, thick yellow hair, or how he can do his makeup better than any broad. That's free.
Okay. All right. That seems reasonable.
But if you want to do a joke like he's so fat he needs 2 seats on the Epstein jet, that's going to cost.
Can I just ask, just for clarity, because it's a pretty good joke, how much would that one cost me?
A couple of fingers, maybe a tooth, and you know how constipated he is.
So is this how things are going to go from now on?
We also got a new motto at the FCC. Sticks and stones may break your bones.
And?
And?
Well, the rest of that is, but I think, but words can never harm you.
Well, they can harm you now. Let's make sure you pick the right words. Capiche?
Okay, yeah, I guess I capiche, but I don't think, oh, it sounds like you got a call there, huh?
Hi, handsome. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. President. Okay, you got it, sir. You got it. Bye.
What did he say?
Look, I gotta go. A couple of cases of Tylenol fell off a truck, and now I gotta figure out how to put autism in them.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that sounds tricky. So good luck with that, sir.
Suddenly, the thing that supposedly did not matter is trending in 3 languages. If you wonder why Trump goes nuts after these moments, that feedback loop is the answer. He pours gas on it every time and then complains about the flames. Now, let's run PR versus reality. PR says De Niro is obsessed and irrelevant. Reality says the quote traveled because it was clean, specific, and grounded in a larger argument about character. PR says the room was rigged. Reality says there were people in that crowd who were not fans and still nodded.
What we have here is a denial of truth all over the place. And even the speech that he made after is insane. It's just insane, and I'm very, very concerned about it. I think we all are. It's insane. So that's why I felt I had to do something, say something about it, to go on record.
PR says Trump was unbothered. Reality says multiple late-night bursts, a correction for a typo, and a next-day attempt to reframe the whole thing as proof of strength. Unbothered people do not do a full spin cycle. Unbothered people watch a movie and go to bed. Small satire cutaway, clearly labeled. If this were a sitcom, the episode would be called Caps Lock at Midnight. The cold open is a phone at full brightness in a dark room, and spell check gives up halfway through and asks for a transfer.
It makes me so fucking angry. That we're here talking about a piece of shit like Donald Trump. Hi, Philly, how are you?
In my country, we're fighting like hell for the democracy we once took for granted. And that affects all of us. That affects all of us here because the arts are democratic. Art is inclusive. It brings people together. Like tonight, art looks for truth. Art embraces diversity. And that's why art is a threat. That's why we are a threat to autocrats and fascists.
Freeze. Okay, back to what actually happened. The posts are real. The typos are real. The walk back the next morning is real. That rhythm is the tell. The other piece most viewers miss is how De Niro's delivery sets the trap. He does not shout the line. He drops it and lets silence do the heavy lifting. That silence tells the truth better than any insult ever could. Trump cannot stand the quiet. He fills it with volume. That is the contrast. One guy uses silence to make a point. The other floods the zone because quiet does not serve him.
America's Philistine president has had himself appointed head of one of our premier cultural institutions. He has cut funding and support to the arts, humanities, and education. And now he has announced a 100% tariff on films produced outside the U.S. Let that sink in for a minute. You can't put a price on creativity, but apparently you can put a tariff on it. Of course, this is unacceptable. All these attacks are unacceptable. And this isn't just an American problem, it's a global one. Unlike a film, we can't just sit back and watch. We have to act, and we have to act now. Without violence, but with great passion and determination. It's time for everyone who cares about liberty to organize, to protest, and when there are elections, of course, to vote. Vote.
When you cut those two approaches back to back, the story writes itself. By the way, if you want these kinds of breakdowns that mix comedy with receipts, hit like right now, drop your read in the comments, and make sure you are subscribed. I want to hear if you think this was a normal clapback or a full Trump loses it moment. Let's talk incentives for a second. Because there is always a reason. Attention keeps the brand afloat. Outrage fuels small dollar fundraising. Conflict drowns out worse headlines. That is the triangle. So when De Niro hits the character question, Trump does what he always does. He tries to change the subject by making himself the subject, which would be brilliant strategy if the new subject did not remind everyone of the old one. The numbers spike, the chorus grows, and the clapback from Hollywood becomes a boomerang, another hidden beat.
Beside all that, this is my neighborhood, downtown New York City. I grew up here and feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable. The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists to change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back. I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists. I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here.
The celebrity echo. De Niro speaks and late night picks it up with jokes that tie the moment to the week's news. Musicians repost with one-line captions that do more damage than a thread. Directors and actors nod with variations of the same idea. Character still matters, truth still matters. Trump hates that choir and calls them washed up, which is funny coming from a man who keeps quoting a decades-old reality show like it is Article 1 of a policy platform. And the second he tries to dunk on Hollywood, he extends the life of the clip.
The guy is a total monster. And anybody, I don't understand it. I guess they get behind that kind of logic. They want to fuck with people, screw them, because they're unhappy about something. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person. I never play him as an actor because I can't see any good in him. Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing redeemable in him. And we have to, and whoever the people are who want to vote for him, and there look like intelligent people around there, somebody, for some reason, it can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine.
He becomes the distribution channel for the thing he wants to bury. Here is the part I love as a host. The pattern has receipts. We have seen this dance in different cities, at different events, with different lines. De Niro makes a clean point. Trump reacts with noise. The press team insists it is nothing while writing 5 statements about it. The next morning, a surrogate appears to say it was a joke or sarcasm or out of context.
That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship, which is what he says. Let's believe him, take him at his word.
I did from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I said from the very beginning, this guy is never going to concede power, and he still hasn't.
No.
He still hasn't admitted he lost the last election, and he advertises that he will go on. He says he's been cheated out of 1 term, so maybe we should get rid of a president only gets 2 terms thing. So
he's a sociopathic, psychopathic, malignant narcissist.
To make a bet, do we as a country, you and I are sitting here 5 years down the road, is this country more together or further apart?
I don't know. Maybe some miraculous things will happen where even Trump will do something that's surprising. I don't think so, but you never know. I'll even then say, okay, I give you that, but I just don't think so.
I spent a lot of time along the Rust Belt in Kentucky in places that where people put all of their hope in this president.
Yeah.
And their livelihood depends on his success.
Right.
Do you feel like Hollywood, those living on the coast like I do, like you do, are too disconnected? We're too disconnected from that pain? I
understand that people feel, even I am hesitant sometimes to endorse somebody because I don't think now it's just an elite Hollywood person doing that. But many of us feel that the right thing has to be done for people. And we really believe that. Someone like Trump doesn't really believe that. He can give lip service to it, but he doesn't really believe it.
But they disagree with you. They tell me, because I've sat with them,
Yeah.
I've had dinner with them, and they say, he gets me, and he is standing up for me, and he is putting America first.
You know what the best con artists in the world say, I'm putting you first. And what happens?
So he is the President of the United States of America. Do you want him to succeed?
Of course, I want him to succeed. I don't believe that he will.
The number 1 piece of legislation you would like to see him support?
The DACA is one.
Okay. So if he works with Congress, signs DACA legislation to get Dreamers to stay here, you will be hopeful?
Yeah, because his action will have spoken louder than his big mouth and words, because all he does is open his mouth and yell, talk, and insult people and put them down. You can't do anything. That's inexcusable.
The context was the clip. The context is the pattern. If you keep telling me every fire is an illusion, after the 5th alarm, I am calling the fire department anyway. Let's land this with the verdict, the punchline that fits in one breath. Donald Trump is the guy who shanks a field goal and then demands the league investigate the goalpost for bias.
Talk about the impeachment conversation. What have you been thinking about in terms of impeachment, the hearings? Have you watched any of them, or?
I've watched some. I think no matter what happens, which we know probably in the Senate he won't get convicted or whatever, but we have to do this. We have to go through the motions. Symbolically, it means something. It's a taint on his presidency, more than a taint. It's a stain, one that he deeply deserves. So, yes, we will go through it and take our chances. We have to take our chances no matter what. He's going to try and use it, that he got ahead of it, he beat it like a gangster. I beat the rap, I beat them like the Teflon Don, but he has to take that punishment. He has to pay the consequences.
Even if you think that, even if that means that could risk Republicans.
We don't have time
winning
for that.
in the
He
election.
did something wrong. He has to pay for it, period.
You know, we agree with you. I was reading in New York Times Magazine an interview you did for The Irishman, and in it you say that you would never play Trump because he has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. So wait, so I just let me finish this, because you have played some of the most really unredeemable characters. Travis Bickle. Travis Bickle was a psychopathic taxi driver. Jake LaMotta, who used to beat his wife, and he was in The Raging Bull. Is Trump worse than they are?
To me, he is.
Wow. Why? Tell us.
Because he has no understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them. I always say he's a lowlife.
Yeah.
He's a lowlife.
So talk about...
And he knows he's a lowlife.
Yeah.
He knows everything he projects about negative things on individuals, on situations, on institutions. He's saying about himself.
Right.
He's what you call projecting.
That's right.
Because he feels that about himself, but he's saying it to them. It's like the dirtiest player. You insult people, say the terrible things about them when you feel that way about yourself. You know how terrible that is.
Yes. Yeah.
He actually says that.
That's true.
Yeah.
What he said about her father.
Very nasty man.
What is that about?
Yeah.
He was,
And the
deeply
family? How about his
emasculated.
kids?
He's deeply emasculated by my father's legacy, and he can't take it. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
But you also, Bobby, you also talk about his children, and you say that they're like a gangster family too.
I don't want my kids to take this the wrong way, but if my kids did what these kids did, I wouldn't want to be related to them. I would disown them.
Yeah.
I'd have a serious talk with them. First of all, it's an impossibility. My kids are not like that, of course. But if I disagreed with them on things of principle, I'd say, and they felt it, and we do now. So even about this, how strongly I feel about it, as I feel that we're at a crossroads, as we all know. This guy, he'd want to get elected a third term. He even joked about it.
Yes.
He'd want to be king for life. All these things are true. We see that. We know that about him now. This guy has got to be taken seriously, and he's got to be taken out of office.
What about his enablers too?
His enablers.
That's why I think actually the bigger sting for him is not impeachment, it's the American people voting him out, because he can't say it was political.
We want the American people, of course, to vote him out, register, get young people, get Latinos, get African Americans, everybody out there. Don't be apathetic. You got to get out there now and vote.
De Niro just holds up the replay and says, "Look, we all saw it. That is why this works. It is not celebrity worship. It is a famous person using his mic to say the quiet part out loud. The math does not math. The story does not add up, and every time Trump tries to shout over the evidence, he nudges the volume on his own mistakes. If you like your news with proof and a little bite, stick with IBN. Hit subscribe, toss your verdict in the comments, and share this with a friend who texts you every time Trump has a late-night posting spree. I will see you in the next one, where we pull the next clip, read the next post, and watch the pattern repeat in real time.
He has to be charming. He has to win people over. He has to do things to get them. Why he betrays them in this way, I have no. All I can do is try my best to. He has an action intention. He goes from here to here to here. He does that with the people, and I think part of it with him, I guess, is sincere. It's just the other part where he's betraying them. There's a kind of a feeling of entitlement it's almost, I guess you could say it's, we became a lot more aware of after George Floyd with systemic racism. And so that's what it is. And lo and behold, what happened there that we never knew of while we were there was the Black Wall Street massacre.
While we were shooting, yeah.
While we were shooting. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face. This is somebody that we want for president? I don't think so. What I care about is the direction of this country. And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump. If you care about your future, vote for it.